From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
Well, good morning, everyone. Hopefully you have the day off today as well. As obvious, I don't, and I'm sure many of you don't either. Maybe you have to head out to work again this morning before we get off into the weekend. Think about those gusty winds we saw yesterday. We're going to be looking at another day of gusty winds, probably just not as strong as they were yesterday. And believe it or not, we're talking about the potential for some frost and some freezing temperatures in the valley over the next couple of nights, with our next chance for rain at this point looking sometime around Thursday. We'll get into that a little bit more detail here in a second. I want to show you some of the max wind gusts that we saw the last 24 hours. Even the mountains saw some pretty gusty winds, like El Turris. Mount Shasta City saw close to 30-mile-an-hour gusts yesterday. There you can see Crescent City and even out into Eureka as well. But for the valley, this is where we saw some of the stronger winds, 44-mile-an-hour gusts in Red Bluff. There were actually some power outages in Glenn County and southward in also parts of Tehama County as well. And it looks like we also saw some pretty gusty winds here in the foothills to the east. Now there is still a wind advisory until 1 o'clock today. This may be overdoing it with the gusts here today. I think they'll be closer to about 30, 35 miles per hour, but still looking at some gusty winds out there before they do start to subside. So take a look at today at 5 o'clock. We're still in that 15 to 20 mile an hour range in the valley, so we can at least call it breezy out there, making those gusts possibly over 30 miles per hour. Take a look at Saturday morning. There you can still see close to 20 miles per hour in some cases here. But you'll see here the trend will be downward with those winds as we take you into your Saturday afternoon, and not to mention your Sunday as well. So we are going to see those winds to begin to die down through the day on Saturday and of course Sunday. Switching gears now, let's talk about the temperatures, and it's going to be cold the next few nights. Now the key to the freeze watch, any frost out there as well, will be the winds. If those winds stick around tonight, it's going to be hard for us to get to those temperatures below freezing, and it'll be hard for us to even see some of that frost as well. But if the winds decide to calm down, boy, those temperatures are going to plummet overnight, and that's going to allow us to see those temperatures get close to freezing. So this is now a good time for you to start thinking about prepping your home for winter, for winterizing it. What I mean by that is making sure that your outside pipes are insulated. So if we do see a hard freeze, we don't want those pipes to burst. Maybe start covering the plants, bring them inside if you can. And don't forget about your pets and your loved ones as well. Make sure that they are taken care of during these cold nights. All right, so I want to show you what we can expect here for this morning. I think the winds will still be kind of sticking around here for this morning. So I don't expect it to be a very cold night this morning. But you can see, not warming up a whole lot. I think we may even struggle to get into the 60s for some of us in the valley today. So it's going to be cooler, but don't let that fool you. We're still going to be looking at mainly sunny skies out there. And then there you can see for Siskiyou and Modoc County in the eastern mountains, only reaching somewhere in the 40s for those daytime highs, with those overnight lows, or the morning lows that is, in the upper teens and even some low to mid 20s. Let's take a look at the north coast, and yeah, we're still above freezing here, but it's getting cold inland, and not to mention for Trinity County, and not warming up a whole lot later on this afternoon. So we look at futurecast, and of course, as I mentioned, we've got those sunny skies in the forecast here for your Friday. Just looking at those gusty winds again today. Let's take you into Saturday, and Saturday still looking at sunny skies continuing, and that'll probably continue into your Sunday as well. Let's kind of take you out the advance here through next week. Now, this particular forecast model just yesterday was showing rain as early as even Wednesday and Thursday. But look at Thursday now, it's dry. However, if you look at the European forecast model, that shows the rain as early as Wednesday and Thursday. So for now, I'm thinking Thursday's the day we start to see the chances for rain move in, and then off and on chances for rain for Friday and into that next weekend as well. So yeah, we still got some dry weather in store for us for quite some time, but by the end of the next week, we could possibly see that change in the weather weather pattern. All right, here's your travel forecast. Maybe you have friends and family, moving out or driving out today. If you're heading northward, morning fog in Medford, but it'll probably turn to sunny skies later in the afternoon. Temperatures only in the 40s and 50s heading northward. Sacramento about 61 and 63 degrees for San Francisco, and it is cold any way you look at it as you start heading eastward into Nevada. Let's take a look at your Saturday forecast. Not warming a whole lot. In fact, temperatures pretty much staying the same as we go into Saturday. Let's take you southward. Look at South Lake Tahoe. I'm looking at a high of 37 degrees today. So if you have family heading back home, make sure they're prepared for those colder temperatures. But there you can see down south, temperature is more like the upper 60s and low 70s. Now I'm going to take you to Saturday, and you'll notice those temperatures still in the upper 60s here, so still pretty warm there, but still cold in South Lake Tahoe with only a high of about 39 degrees. Let's talk about the beach hazard statement now for the coast. I mean, a lot to talk about. We're seeing a lot of elements out there. Now, the thing is for this evening through Sunday morning, we've got high astronomical tide out there, and that's going to create some problems here. So we've got the risk for sneaker waves. So think of it this way. You're looking at the ocean, doesn't look all that bad. You got your typical waves, but every once in a while, you get this big rush of water that comes onto the shore, and those are what we call sneaker waves. They can come up and surprise you. If you're kind of rock hopping on the edge of the ocean, of the shore there, those can pick you up, drag you back in the ocean, and if you're on those sharp rocks, that can also be very dangerous. So, with that all said, don't turn your back to the ocean here this evening or through the weekend, and keep a close eye on it because we do have those dangerous sneaker waves out there here for the weekend. There you can see those wave heights are fairly high here for today. They're going to be fairly high as we go into Saturday, and you can see they're beginning to really push closer to the coast, which is why we do have that beach hazard statement. Here's looking at marine forecast for today. North winds at 10 to 20 knots, waves from the north at about 9 feet at 10 seconds, and from the northwest at 4 feet at about 6 seconds, and there's that hazardous seas warning. All right, so again, those high seas are certainly creating a few problems here. Temperatures are dropping today. Instead of those upper 60s, even some low 70s we saw yesterday, it'll be more like 60 to low 60s for those daytime highs today. And in the mountains, it's pretty chilly, only reaching mainly in the upper 30s to low 40s for Modoc County, the eastern mountains, mid 40s, give or take here for Siskiyou County. But look at Tennant, only a high of 37, 40 degrees for Doris, Etna about 43. Not warming up a whole lot inland, upper 50s there, and upper 50s, mid to upper 50s out along the coast. We're getting that time of the year where we're not really seeing much of a temperature spread between inland and the coast. All right, there's a look at your 7-day outlook for Mount Shasta, of course, Siskiyou County in general. It's dry. I have included that chance for rain as early as Thursday. I've got your snow levels between 3,000 and possibly upwards of around 4,000 feet, especially as you head out into the Sierra. That's where we see some of those higher snow levels. Still breezy today and tomorrow for the valley, but temperatures are going to be cooler. They'll warm up a little bit for Sunday, Monday, but generally staying in the low 60s before we see a bigger drop by the middle to latter part of next week. And your 7-day outlook for the North Coast. Still dry through Wednesday with that chance for showers by Thursday.